Good Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith on this bright and sunny, for most regions anyway, Thursday, which is the 4th of December 2014. And waking up and getting out the door this morning at 7:35 as of this broadcast from the New Jersey Weather and Climate Network at njweather.org. Here's our current temperatures in northwestern New Jersey. They're in the upper 20s to low and mid 30s across the region. The minimum temperatures this morning bottomed out into the lower 20s across ports of Sussex and Warren counties, and generally in the upper 20s to low 30s elsewhere. Latest surface observations this morning shows high clouds of the cirrus variety now stretching into northwestern New Jersey and into the New York City metropolitan area. We have mostly cloudy skies at Central Park, LaGuardia, Kennedy, and Newark International Liberty Airport this morning. It's also mostly cloudy at Teterboro, too. The skies become partly cloudy to mostly cloudy across most regions here in northwestern New Jersey. And these are high cirrus-based clouds. Outside of that, skies are either partly cloudy or mostly sunny, and the temperatures are rising through the upper 20s to low and mid 30s. They're ranging now into the upper 30s right around Central Park and into the upper 30s right around LaGuardia and Kennedy International as well. Temperatures out on eastern Long Island are still in the mid 30s and climbing, but we have cold air advection on the way. The winds are out of the southwest to westerly direction during this morning at speeds generally less than 10 miles per hour. Morning pass of the visible satellite this morning shows a stream of clouds from southwest to northeast spreading in through Kentucky, Ohio, Virginia, Pennsylvania into northwestern New Jersey, the New York City metropolitan area. It's not cloudy everywhere. The water vapor channel gives us a little bit more indication. We have a little bit more lifting here with a system that's spreading rain across the central South Plains, and that is producing a west to southwesterly flow of air, and this is spreading the high level cloud cover and lifting through this region. Again, most of today should be okay, but the models are indicating a lot more cloudiness developing and thickening across the region during this afternoon. Wanted to show you the graphic of the precipitation across this region here, but obviously weather-bell servers are down this morning. This is another graphic from the Northeast Base Reflectivity Composite chart. Shows the precipitation breaking out to our southwest, and it's also streaming the warm air advection back in on a west to southwest flow aloft. We don't have any watches, warnings, or advisories for the ocean fronts right now, as small craft advisories have been discontinued. A few gusts this morning up to 20 to 25 knots. Basically tonight, no marine headlines in place right through Friday night. On the ocean front, small craft advisories may be needed at the end of the day on Saturday in the southerly flow. Saturday night and Sunday, gale force winds are possible as a strong high pressure system builds to the north of the marine area. Sunday night and Monday, models are hinting at the development of another coastal low. North to northeast winds around the low should intensify as a result. Most of the intensification with this model sweep was after Monday. However, gales would be possible if the low develops faster and deepens more rapidly off the coast. We just don't know that yet. Regardless, small craft advisory conditions at least should persist. And with the arrival of the spring tides associated with full moon and the offshore system, the potential for tidal flooding exists. The first high tide cycle of concern is Sunday morning, and along the ocean front, north winds have been predicting tide levels close to minor tidal flooding advisory thresholds. Beyond Sunday, there is much more uncertainty as the evolution of the offshore storm, but a slightly more onshore flow Monday and Tuesday, regardless of any additional low pressure system contribution, may bring additional minor tidal flooding to the region by itself. And for the rest of the aviational deck of VFR conditions this morning, transition to MVFR in the afternoon with the onshore flow as precipitation develops from south to north. Some light snow or ice pellets at the onset before it quickly changes over to rain, possibly freezing rain in the highest terrain. Friday night through Saturday night, periods of rain. IFR likely Friday night. Conditions may try to improve to MVFR during the day Saturday, but any improvement to VFR should not occur until the cold frontal passage sometime on Saturday night. Transition to snow possible before ending far northwest airports. Sunday and Sunday night, predominantly VFR, gusty north winds, winds exceeding 25 knots, especially eastern airports. And on Monday, low confidence in the forecast. There is a potential for a coastal storm to impact the terminals during this time, resulting in MVFR or IFR conditions and precipitation. Rain may mix or change to snow and ice pellets in the setup by Monday, especially out towards the Reading and Allentown. The northeast flow would also remain gusty. And I might have to tell you also that the latest model trends from last night and this morning continue to hedge against this storm impacting the region, but we'll just have to wait and see how this all turns out. Right now at Newark Airport, we have 34 degrees and 25 is the dew point, humidity 69%, the wind is southwest at 8, broken ceilings at 25,000, making it overcast there. And basically, we've got a few clouds of the 25,000 foot variety, jet stream clouds, and then broken ceilings lowering and thickening during this afternoon and evening as we get more cloud cover and precipitation beginning tomorrow afternoon. Right now, that remains VFR. Philadelphia is also in VFR at 34, dew point 25, humidity 69%. The wind is southwest at 8, actually west at 8. Mostly cloudy. High variety clouds, 20,000 and 25,000. Again, VFR conditions in place, lowering and thickening clouds late this afternoon right through tomorrow morning. Latest water vapor analysis, 500 millibar analysis overlaid with the top of the water vapor channel. Here is our polar jet, and here's our subtropical jet, a zonal flow here. Here's our disturbance here across the Tennessee and Ohio River Valley, spreading the clouds with one batch of isentropic lift at the highest levels here across Pennsylvania into the New York City area this morning. And more of this cloud cover back here with the rain showers approaching the region later tonight and tomorrow morning. But most of the rain should really not affect our area until tomorrow afternoon, and that's when we have some icing problems at the onset as well. Latest morning run of the HRR, high resolution rapid refresh shows the steady building of the cloud deck across the region. Either partly sunny or completely overcast by the afternoon, but it will be filtered sunshine through this as the clouds begin to lower and thicken. Here is our disturbance over the Tennessee and Ohio River Valley heading in towards the northern mid-Atlantic, the southern fringes of that, with a light rain spreading out across the region to our south and west, and that will probably not get into our forecast region until tomorrow afternoon. With the cloud cover in place, temperatures will be a little bit warmer. It's pretty much steady. They won't drop off to extreme levels overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, but it will definitely be a much colder day today and tomorrow as well, and that's why we're going to find some precipitation problems later in the forecast period. Morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows the high pressure ridge over the Great Lakes here, 1030 millibar high building across the region. This will slide to our east. The winds will back around to the northeast and onshore flow will develop. Here's our little bout of rain developing in this return flow here with a disturbance here across the Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley heading into the mid-Atlantic coast states during tonight and tomorrow morning. NAMWRF composite reflectivity precipitation type forecast going into the future. Here's our clouds increasing across the region. Either partly sunny or mostly cloudy for a portion of the afternoon hours and evening hours as the clouds really begin to lower and thicken. It might be a little bit of a patch of clearing later this evening and early tonight before the clouds commence once again. Here's our isentropic lift. Here's our little disturbance here moving into the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley. Precipitation of the light rain variety breaks out Friday night in earnest to the west of the region. Could be a little bit of ice mixed in at the onset with cold air in place at the highest elevations of the Poconos and parts of the lower Hudson Valley. Everybody else should basically see rain out of this, and it will be periods of rain from Friday night right through Saturday morning, and that batch moves off, and here comes the second batch ahead of the cold front, and this means more breaks in the precipitation for a portion of Saturday before the showers return as the cold front makes its way through the region and temperatures begin to drop off once again, with winds increasing as high pressure builds in across the region on Sunday and Sunday night. GFS maps into motion from Tropical Tibbets, Levi Cohen site, precipitation type, and forecast going forward. Here's our high pressure ridge building in, our little bit of cold air damming, 540, 5400 thickness levels here. So cold air begins across the region. It's a chilly night and an early start tomorrow morning to the chilly air mass, which will be eroding. The thicknesses will begin to rise, and so forth will the precipitation be in the form of rain as it makes its way across the region Friday night through Saturday morning. And then the low moves off the mid-Atlantic coast states and south of the New Jersey-New York bight here. The only snow in the forecast really is contained well away from our forecast region. And then that exits and high pressure and cold air builds in once again for Sunday. The strengthening high and storm system off the coast will create a tighter pressure gradient, so the winds and isobars here, we can see this, so the winds are going to be a little stronger, and the air mass will continue to be cold. These strong high pressure systems will be transitory and move rapidly away to the east, and cold air damming remains in place. So most of Monday now looks dry. The storm system in question on some of the models from earlier yesterday has been backed off by both the European, Canadian, and the GFS, and it looks like the system will remain well to the east and off coast by Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday. That trend will be something that we're going to be monitoring as another area of high pressure builds in across southeastern Canada, keeps the storm deflected out to sea, and just keeps a relatively cold air mass in place for the northern mid-Atlantic coast states. through the middle of the week, and then the high begins to build down across the forecast region and remains nearly stationary with pretty chilly air across the region right through Thursday afternoon and Friday. And finally, the air mass begins to modify just a little bit as we head into later in the week. If this trend holds, we could be dealing with a relatively benign weather pattern for next week and relatively cold conditions at the beginning, with below seasonal temperatures modifying to near or slightly above seasonal levels by the later part of the week. So that's our story for today. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a great Thursday. We'll be back in video form with your weekend details and the storm or no storm potential for next week tomorrow morning on the video forecast discussion.